for sticking and staying with us. Good evening to you on the 90 FM band. And of course, if you are over there on our YouTube channel, top of the evening to you as well. You are inside the nation's business, and inside the nation's business, we want to get some perspectives on nationwide reportage that has been able to confirm that the company which the Auditor General's Department says was the beneficiary of the University Hospital of the West Indies' inappropriate use of its tax exemption status to import 12 dialysis machines is Jackden Limited. A report prepared by the Auditor General's Department and tabled recently in Parliament says in 2024, the hospital used its tax exempt status to secure a $10 million waiver for private company 2. Company wasn't named, private company 2. Documents seen by Nationwide News confirm that private company 2 is Jackden Limited. Here's George Davis with that report.
Nationwide News has seen a document which lifts the lid on the mystery surrounding the private company, which the UHWI used its tax-exempt status to import dialysis machines for in 2024. That document says those machines and other sundry items have a cost, insurance, and a freight or CIF value of $40.5 million. That document we've seen highlights in red the name of the company which benefited from the UHWI's inappropriate action. That company is Jackden. Jackden is owned by chairman of the PNP's Region 3 and a member of Parliament for East Central St. Andrew, Dennis Gordon. A version of the report which had Jackden's name redacted was recently tabled in the House of Representatives. The report says UHWI's private wing was listed as the importers of the machines, but the UHWI was unable to present the machines, so the Auditor General's team could inspect them. According to the Auditor General's report, its team was unable to confirm whether the 12 dialysis machines for which Jackden benefited from UHWI's tax exemption status is in fact owned by the UHWI. When our news center contacted Dennis Gordon for a comment earlier Tuesday afternoon, he asked our reporter why he was calling him. When the reporter explained that the matter related to Jackden being named in the Auditor General's report on procurement breaches at the UHWI, Dennis Gordon hung up the phone. He has not answered subsequent calls. The board of the UHWI has called in the police fraud squad to probe the issue. Dennis Gordon and the Jackden are reportedly denying wrongdoing. Last week, PNP President Mark Golding gave this response when asked whether he had spoken to Dennis Gordon about the allegation that Jackden was connected to the UHWI tax exemption saga.
He knows my position because my position is not new, and he agrees with my position that, chips must fall where they lie if there's anything in any kind of allegation. But at this juncture, he has maintained that he has done nothing wrong, and I have no reason to doubt that because I haven't seen any official investigation, any official report suggesting otherwise. And I'm not prepared to engage in any speculative chase after any individual, which is just based on rumor or based on conjecture or based on information, the source of which we have no knowledge of.
A few weeks ago, when the issue entered the public domain, opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, moved to distance himself from Jackden. Dr. Dawes, up until recently, was listed on Jackden's website as a consultant to the company. He then posted a video to social media in which he declared that his designation as a consultant was an error and that, quote, "I have no affiliation to Jackden," end quote. George Davis for Nationwide News.
Thank you very much for that report there, George. We are now being joined by the immediate past president of the MSME Alliance, Donovan Wignall, for some perspectives, as well as political commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang. Good evening to you, gentlemen. Welcome to Nationwide at 5.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, dear listeners.
Now, before we dive into the questions, just want to give an editorial note that prior and subsequent to the airing of the story yesterday, we made several attempts to reach the MP for East Central St. Andrew, Dennis Gordon, by phone. The producer also extended an invitation to Mr. Gordon to be part of this discussion via text message, he has not responded. We also reached out to PNP Deputy General Secretary Nikisha Burchell. We got through to her assistant, Miss Burchell's assistant, after speaking with Miss Burchell, directed us to a representative of the PNP's media unit. We called the representative. We were told to contact and again extended an invitation. We were told the PNP will not be in that discussion. And that's a quote. The PNP will not be in that discussion, right? But let's hear from you, gentlemen. This matter has been in the public domain. Nationwide reporting, we've been able to confirm that Jackman is that company that is identified, I think, as entity 2. I'll go back and have a look at that. But let me hear you on it, Donovan Wignall. I'll give you the first crack at it. You've heard from the opposition leader. Are you satisfied with his response? And if a sitting member of parliament company is involved in what is considered to be a breaking of the tax laws, what should be the response?
Well, the opposition leader said, let the chips fall where they may, meaning wherever, whatever, let the law take its course. I think if it is proven that Jackman, which is one of the companies, it's interesting that we're not naming the other company, which is, I think, company 1, noting that Jackman is not the only company that is caught with their hands in the cookie jar in this case. But the opposition leader's perspective, fully well knowing that he's in a very uncomfortable position now. I think his major statement, let the chips fall where they may, will suffice at this moment. With this early days yet, Jackman who is named, has said that they have done nothing wrong. So when the law takes its course, and if it is proven so or otherwise, the chip will fall where they may.
But there's the investigation, and then there is the People's National Party's response to this. And of course, the chips must fall where they may in relation to the investigation. But if you're a member of your party is the chairman of Region 3, and he owns a company that basically the Auditor General is saying unlawfully benefited from the tax-exempt status. Isn't that a simple conversation to have? Did the UHWI bring any equipment into the island for your company in contravention of the law? Isn't it a simple conversation for the opposition leader, the party president, to have with Mr. Gordon, Donovan Wignall, and then the PNP can take its own actions?
I am sure that those conversations were had, but you know how politics is. It is a very uncomfortable political situation. One of your major actors is caught in a very compromising position, and it is, I think it's understandable, the position that the opposition leader takes. For me personally, though, I think it's extremely egregious. The hospital of the West Indies, if you look at, the inventory of equipment that the university, any hospital has in Jamaica, and see the state of, for example, dialysis, MRIs, X-ray machines, CAT scans, etc. If you look at the inventory of the machine and see how the public is being sent to private facilities to pay thousands of dollars for treatment or for the use of this type of service. It is so unfortunate that when we look at how the equipment is being, we look at the situation that currently exists, it is absolutely sad. And if it is that a company, any company, whether a company A, B, C, D, 1, 2, or 3, is caught doing the sort of thing, I'd say shame on them. And if it is that the company is found guilty of doing such a thing, whether it's Jacqueline or company, one who has not been named as yet, I think the full force of the law should be, levied.
All right.
I mean,
Let me bring Kevin
is bad.
Let me bring Kevin O'Brien Chang into the conversation here, Mr. Wigner. Kevin O'Brien Chang, for many Jamaicans looking on, the question I just put to Donovan Wigner, look, yes, the investigation should go on, but the PNP, as one of two major political parties in the country, there is a responsibility that is on them to say, look, were you involved in this? And then take some action internally based on those conversations. Is that expecting too much, Kevin O'Brien?
I agree with everything Donovan said, but I also am very puzzled. If Nationwide could get the name of company number 2, why couldn't they get the name of company number 1?
Why do you find that puzzling?
Well, I heard about 4 companies, people throwing around numbers, but if there's a number 2, there must be a number 1. And how is it possible to get number 2 and not number 1? Why? By the same method you can get number 2, you should be able to get number 1.
All right. And I would suppose, well, I'm not on the newsroom floor. I'm not involved with the newsroom processes, but I gather investigations work like that. You find out information in bits and pieces sometimes. That's how it works.
Well,
you don't get a whole slice. And I'm not attempting to speak for the newsroom. I'm just saying, as a journalist that has been involved with investigative journalism for many years, sometimes this is how you get information in bits and pieces.
Well, what I find interesting,
and it doesn't mean that the investigation is over.
Well, I'm not asking questions, and I'm not casting any aspersions. I'm asking
and I'm responding generically as well, because, like I said, I'm not involved in the investigation.
Fine, and I accept your answer. What I find very interesting in this whole thing, I would expect the GLP to be hammering and said, Mr. Gordon must resign. I don't hear it.
It seems we've Kevin, there seems to be a distortion on your line. Kevin, are you still with us? Kevin O'Brien Chang? Donovan Wigner, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, Darwin, and I agree 100% with Kevin. If it is that we have other companies involved, it is a curious thing to be hitting the one company. I mean, hit them, yes. But I know that Nationwide is extremely creative. And if it is that they can find out one company, the other 3 companies, I'm sure they have the information on it. And it does look a little lopsided for you to only be talking about one company and leaning to that one company when 3 or 4 other companies are involved in this very exciting crime. So I think,
and I guess the powers that be at Nationwide, who are in charge of the newsroom, will have to respond to that. But I think I've missed a break, so let me take the break right now, gentlemen. When I come back, what I want to hear from you, we've lost Kevin O'Brien, and hopefully he'll be back after the break. Should the Auditor General have named these companies so we wouldn't have to be in this type of situation? That's the question I'd love to hear a response from both of you when we come back from this break. Soon come. Staying with us, we have with us Donovan Wigner and Kevin O'Brien Chang. Is Kevin O'Brien Chang back with us? Kevin, are you there?
Yes, I say I expected
we lost you there.
Mr. Gordon must resign. I don't hear that. I tell you what, I'm a very cynical person when it comes to political hullabaloos in Jamaica, Wasn't it the same Jack then that the building they built was not approved, didn't have proper approvals, right? And then suddenly, a couple of days later, it's been regularized by a KSAMAC that is both JLP and PNP members. No outcry from the JLP members. And I keep going back to this reality of Jamaica since 1990. Not a single Jamaican politician has been charged for a crime, much more convicted. I look around the world, I see presidents
since when, Kevin?
going to jail, and I'm saying this. Because
no. Since when?
Whenever things happen, since 1990, Jack Smith in 1990, the last
No man,
35
someone
years
else has been charged since Jack Smith, man.
Nobody arrested.
Remember the light bulb saga.
Well, nobody arrested, nobody convicted of anything.
No, charged that went before the court, right? Charged that went before the court.
Nobody has gone to jail in Jamaica, no politician in 35 years. And I'm very cynical because whenever something happens, I am convinced the whole system is set up to, they circle the wagons, both JLP and PNP. They both protect each other. They chat big, you know. And this and that. But when push comes to shove, they get quiet. Look how quiet the JLP is on this thing. No, Mr. Gordon must resign. Why? We know why, because we hear other names.
But Marlon Morgan called for his resignation from the PAAC, I think, you know.
Very, very muted. Mr. Marlon is not that MP. Anyway, all I'm saying is, we Jamaicans are very cynical because we know they circle the wagon. They chat loud outside, but behind the doors, you know the old joke? Room for rent to apply within. When I run out, then you run in. Right? We are cynical.
Gentlemen, we're running out of time, and there are some other questions I need to get across. Hear me, Kevin. One second. We're fast running out of time, and there are some other questions. Should the Auditor General, I'd love to hear from both of you, beginning with you, Donovan Wignall, should the Auditor General have named the companies in her report?
Of course. Absolutely, yes. Absolutely, yes. Why not? And then we wouldn't have this problem with, you know, people being cynical. We know exactly who did what, and just let the chips fall. Let the chips fall to everybody.
I hear you agreeing, Kevin O'Brien. Is there any reasonable argument that can be put forward as to why she didn't name them, Kevin O'Brien?
As I said, I am a very cynical person. They protect each other. I believe it.
Including the Auditor General?
The whole system, man.
No.
The whole system is designed and nobody got jail. That is my take. In 35 years, you look around the world, presidents, prime ministers go in jail left, right, and center. 36 years, nobody in Jamaica. What the most honest politicians in the world? Otherwise, or our politicians are geniuses. They get an integrity commission, $2 million a year, that can't convict nobody.
By conviction record, you might be onto something there. Gentlemen, final one because we're out of time. We have less than a minute. Let's talk about the opposition spokesman. His name was involved in the company. He says it was an error that his name was involved in the capacity that was online. I gather they eventually removed it. Is the allegation removed? Is photo from the Jackden website? Do you think the opposition spokesperson should have recused himself given that interaction with the company? Kevin, you first, and then we close it down upon Wignall.
Yeah, of course we know what should have been done. Is the JLP balling? Is the JLP hammering Mr. Dahl? We know what should be done, you know. But it's never done, and it's only done half-heartedly. And we know what's going to happen.
All right.
When the building wasn't approved, it was regularized very quickly. But maybe the saving grace, Mocha, don't take no charge. Mocha, it doesn't have any fear of favor, and we might see something because Mocha is the only integrity entity in the country that does anything proper.
All right. So let me hear do you think the opposition spokesman should have recused himself from this, given the fact that in any shape or form his name was involved with this company?
No, I mean, being a consultant to a company does not say that you're associated with the company legally. The opposition spokesman, I think.
What do you know? What do you mean being a consultant? Isn't that an association?
If I'm a consultant to Nationwide and Nationwide gets into problems,
and someone calls you to speak on, an issue involving Nationwide, you'd have to say, I have an involvement with Nationwide. That's what a conflict is.
No, I don't think so. I think being the opposition spokesman on the matter, just like this and the whole matter with the drill and all of that, leave him, let him speak. At the end of the day, I think everybody should hear who are the other companies. And
exactly, that's the question I want to know. Who are the other companies? That's more important than the politics, internal politics. Who are the other companies?
Indeed. And gentlemen, I'm in agreement. The names of the other companies should be known. And
This focus on
I
internal
also agree.
politics is
I
wrong.
also agree that the Auditor General should have named them. We have to leave it there. We're out of time. I want to thank political commentator Kevin O'Brien Chang, Donovan Wignall, immediate past president of the MSME Alliance. That's where we have to leave it, gentlemen. Thank you so much for the time and the thoughts. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Darrell.